Hi there, Doc from Barcast Audio here today to talk with you about what I did the summer before law school, what you can do the summer before law school to best prepare for law school and to make the most out of your time. Let's jump right in. Okay, this is the burning question I get from anyone who's pre-law, who's going to law school in the fall. I get this question all the time. How can you make the most out of your summer? What can you do that summer? And people are typically not satisfied when I tell them you should probably just relax a bit. Odds are, if you are somebody who's going to law school, you didn't get there by relaxing. You didn't get there by sitting on your laurels. So you're not going to accept that answer. But really, you should think about taking a step back and making yourself a more interesting person. Using this time to expand your horizons. Work a job that you can talk about on law school on legal job interviews in a year and a half. Do something that's going to be cool that can connect you with attorneys. Of course, you can work in a law firm, get that experience. Maybe work in a plaintiff's firm or a defense firm. Figure out what side of the law maybe you want to get on. But generally, I recommend people relax. My first tip always is relax because you are soon going to become involved in something that's very difficult. It's not easy to be in law school. It's a massive challenge. It's going to consume a lot of your time, a lot of your life. Spend time with your loved ones because you're going to be pulled away from them at various points throughout this time. It's going to feel all-consuming at times. You will be okay. You'll make it through. But just make the most of your summer off. Enjoy your time pre-law school because law school does change people. It changes everyone one way or another. Unfortunately, maybe you're saying, I'm not that person. I won't be changed at all. You will be changed one way or another by the experience. It's just the nature of the beast. It changes the way we think deliberately, and also it changes our social interactions. It changes how we read, our relationship to reading. It changes the way that we analyze anything, any problem. It changes us fundamentally, so enjoy your pre-law school time while you still have it. All right, so now I've told you to relax. Obviously, that's sort of off the top, big picture, relax. Next, if you really want to make the most out of your time, I mentioned this briefly at the start, but get a job that is going to be interesting to discuss. For example, I caddied the summer before law school. I caddied at a country club. It was seen by some people around me as like, you're using this as a networking tool. And I very much was. It was a very useful tool to meet attorneys. I met lots of attorneys who were years out of practice, maybe a few years out, maybe 25 years out. They gave me a lot of invaluable advice. They told me about when they were in law school, and it was just good as a connecting tool to meet attorneys in the field, to talk about their practice areas, what they did, what I may be interested in doing down the line. A really useful tool for me to have an idea going into law school of what I can maybe expect there. Now, there are also students who they bartended or they did some sort of service job that allowed them access not just to attorneys, but to people in all different fields. You never know when those experiences are going to become useful to you. So do something this summer that really may be of value to you down the line. Whether that is obviously something that pays, that's more useful than something that doesn't pay. Whether that be some job that you can talk about in an interview a year from now. You got to factor that for the most part, after your first year of law school, you're going to be going out looking for an internship, looking for some sort of job for the summer. And if you're somebody who essentially just has worked in law firms and only has sort of legal experience, that may work for, it looks good on paper, but you're going to be sort of a one-dimensional person in those interviews. That won't necessarily translate. People are interested in people who have life experience. And a lot of people who go straight to law school from college, they don't have that experience. So do something cool, do something you can tell people about that is a good conversation starter. Everything's really useful to you here. And make sure that you're making the most out of the job market in the summer. Next up, I want you to read. That sounds weird, right? Because you're going to be reading a lot in law school. Law school is so much reading. And because of that, it's going to fundamentally change the way in which you engage with reading. I know so many people who are going to law school or went to law school because they loved reading. They were telling people, you love reading, you should be a lawyer. Oh, no. Yeah, well, listen. Now you're going to be in law school. It's going to change your relationship to reading. I'm someone who's had a book in my hand since I learned to read when I was like 4 or 5, whatever I was. And I've been at some stage of reading one book or another at every moment since then. But in law school was the only time in my life where I really fell behind on my reading. I wasn't reading consistently. I'm someone who reads almost every night before bed, even now, years out of law school. But law school was just a time where my brain was so fried every day from the constant readings, from outlining, from every part of it, that I just didn't have the bandwidth to continue with my reading for leisure. So when I say read this summer, I mean try to read some good airport fiction. Read some beach reads. Read some stuff that's going to be fun, that you're going to enjoy, because in all likelihood, the idea of reading for leisure time is going to be poison for a lot of the next 3 years. It's just going to not be something you have the bandwidth to do because of how exhausted you may be from doing hundreds and hundreds of pages of reading per week for class. So keep that in mind as you're going through this. And also, you can read plenty of books to prepare you for law school. People always recommend getting the Maybe and other stuff and a few other Law School Confidential, all sorts of books out there. You can read these. Ultimately, they're not going to be make or break. They're not going to change your law school prognosis, your future, fundamentally. What they will do is give you a decent idea of how to prepare or how to get there. Or more importantly, what a law school essay looks like. Law school essays are really tough. They're unlike anything you've probably done in undergrad, but it's important that you have an understanding as to what to expect there, and those books can give you sort of a base level, basic understanding. If you don't know what really is going to go on in law school, then these can also be helpful just to give you sort of a primer as to what to expect, because I know plenty of K through JDs, people who go from kindergarten to straight to law school, they kind of go in blind. They've been really smart. They've been top of their class all the time. They apply to law school, and then they get there and they're like, whoa, it's a bit of a culture shock. So make sure that you're using your time not only to read for leisure, but also to maybe do some reading on what you can expect come the first day of law school. Finally, if you are insistent, if you are somebody who, listen, I need to make the most, I want to get a head start, I want to get an A in my courses, 1L semester, first semester 1L, then you can check out Barcast Audio's 1L package. It is something that we've had really great results with. We provide you with all sorts of outlines for your topics, as well as audio outlines you can listen to while you're on the beach, hopefully relaxing before law school starts. We have audio case briefs for when law school actually starts, and printable case briefs. We have everything you need, tax sheets that are really visualized to help set you up for the success on your first semester exam grades. So if you're starting law school and you're looking to get a bit of a head start, a bit of a leg up on the competition before the summer, check out the Barcast Audio 1L package, and it should be very helpful to you. Be sure to check us out at barcastaudio.com.